Hello everyone, this is the Green Snake Gamer playing Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, creepy crawlies in the hallways. Let's head over to the warp gate. We're gonna go over to Smuggler's Cove and warp over to Lighthouse Fright House Part 2 to continue where we left off. This time we're gonna go straight ahead through this tunnel. We already paid the 500 Scooby Snacks to unlock the snack gate, so now let's go through the door. This leads to Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways Part 1. I'm just gonna collect these Scooby Snacks on the left first. To take care of the ghosts in the center, what you need to do is jump above them and use the Super Smash. Be very careful of these two bats flying around so they don't knock you in the water. At the top here is a fish enemy. Let's take care of her. Now jump back to the platform in the center. It's very difficult to see, but right in front of it, there is a box of Scooby Snacks just above the water. So what you need to do is drop down to collect it and quickly jump back up before you fall in the water. It's very easy to miss that box of Scooby Snacks, so be careful. On the left is just this box of Scooby Snacks in front of this gate. We can't go any further, so let's head back. Let's go over to the right side. Now up on the right, you can see there's another box of Scooby Snacks. So let's jump up there to collect it. There's also a door up here. So let's go through the door. This leads us to Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways Part 2. All that's here is a box of Scooby Snacks. As you can see, there's another gate blocking our way, so we can't go any further, so let's head back. To open this gate at the top, what you need to do is use the Super Smash invention to hit all three of these switches. Now you gotta be very careful here because of these rocks. They move very quickly and at certain points will bounce up in the air. So this is pretty difficult. Try your best to avoid them while collecting these Scooby Snacks. Try to take advantage of the places the rocks bounce up. At the end is the door, so let's go through it. This leads us to Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways Part 2. Right away, you see there's a gargoyle here. Just dodge his fireballs. To take care of him, just use the Super Smash invention. You can see there's a key floating here above this cauldron, so let's collect that. As you can see, we need to collect 4 keys. It all comes down to good timing. So we need 4 keys to unlock this gate. So what you need to do is wait for the bubbles to disappear before you jump to collect the key. Now before we go through the gate, if you look down, you can see there's this ledge with a headless specter on it. So let's drop down to that ledge. Be very careful not to fall in the giant hole. Okay, let's head back. Now just off camera, you can see there's this Scooby Snack floating in the air. Let's jump over and collect that and quickly jump back. Be very careful not to fall off into the hole. Now we can't get back up, so let's head all the way down this hallway. Back to this door. This leads us back to Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways Part 1, where we were before. So let's make our way back. Again, be very careful of these rocks. Now that we have all 4 keys, let's continue ahead. So just go through this gate here. Take care of this zombie. Now you can see there's a switch on the floor. I'm not gonna activate it yet. I'm gonna collect these Scooby Snacks first. You can see there's a box of Scooby Snacks floating in the air. So I'm not gonna hit that switch right now. Up ahead, you can see Shaggy on the right here. We need to help him get out of that cell. So let's head back and hit that switch. This opens some of the gates. So let's take care of this Headless Spectre on the left. Now there's another zombie walking around in the hallway, so let's take care of him. Now let's go through the cell on the right. And break through this wall that's a different color. This gets us into Shaggy's cell. So let's grab Shaggy. Now Shaggy's gonna help us collect this box of Scooby Snacks floating in the air, as well as the key in the back. So just toss Shaggy up to collect that box of Scooby Snacks. Now let's go over to the key and do the same thing. Toss Shaggy up. Okay, now that we have the key, this opens the gate ahead of us. This is the way to the secret lab. Now you can see there was a box of Scooby Snacks up on that ledge. We can't get up there to collect it yet, so we'll be coming back here later. Okay, I just gotta get Shaggy out of the way. Now go through the opening on our left. The cell on the left. In here is a door. Let's go through it. This leads us to Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways Part 3. So go up these stairs and go left. Be careful of these swinging axes.
Right, it's a Headless Spectre.
Okay, now there's a ghost ahead to make it even tougher. Now there's nothing we can do about the ghost, so just go past it. Run up these stairs. Now this room is full of ghosts. Now be careful not to fall in the fire. Don't worry about these keys that are locked in cages. We can't collect them yet. So just collect these Scooby Snacks floating over the fire. There's another box of Scooby Snacks floating in the air. But it's pretty far away. Okay, we can't reach that one yet. So just go around the room and collect all these Scooby Snacks. Remember to be careful with avoiding the ghosts. Just go around them. Now we can't get up top to collect these Scooby Snacks, so don't worry about those yet. Now on the wall on the left here, you can see there's this warp gate. Walk into it to activate it. Okay, here's some more Scooby Snacks. Now this one is pretty tough to get. You need to get wedged on the wall a bit to get a little bit of height to reach it. Now don't worry about those glowing objects all the way in the back. Okay, just making sure I collected as many Scooby Snacks as I could around the area. Okay, now take note of this in the center. Collect this plunger. This is the plunger invention. With the plunger invention, we will no longer be slipping on slippery surfaces. Now we can't get up here yet. We'll be coming back here later. Go over to the warp gate. Now that we have the plunger invention, we're gonna be doing some cleanup work. Now we're gonna warp over to the first place we need the plunger. Warp over to Mind Your Manners, Part 3. Now go through the door. This leads us to All Scares Upstairs, Part 1.
Right. It's the headless specter.
So we just got a little bit of leg work here. There are quite a few places we need to use the Plunger invention. So head over to All Scares Upstairs Part 2. This is the first spot to use the Plunger invention. Remember these stairs? Now that we have the Plunger invention, we can walk up this ramp to the top. So that's all the snacks collected here. So this completes All Scares Upstairs.
Scooby!
So continue on ahead. Again, we have some more legwork. So just bounce all the way to the top and go through the door. This leads us to All Scares Upstairs Part 4.
It's a creeper! Don't run! Scooby! Right, it's the headless specter! Running!
Okay, use this warp gate. Now warp over to Cower in the Tower. Now we need to go down and go through this door. This leads us to Panic in the Attic Part 2. Now, you remember this ramp we slid down before? Now that we have the Plunger invention, we no longer slide, so now we can go over to the spider web against the wall and use the helmet invention to break through it. Now, in here, there's some Scooby Snacks to collect, as well as the Creeper monster token, so make sure to collect that. Okay, that's all snacks collected. So this clears Panic in the Attic. So this area is now clear. So let's continue ahead. Jump up to the ledge on the top, and go through the door. This leads us to Panic in the Attic Part 3. We need to make our way to the next area, so again, we have some more legwork to do. go through the door all the way at the top here. This leads us to A Dark and Stormy Night, Part 1. So let's get these creeper enemies out of the way first. Again, we'll hit the switch to lower the gate. Now this is another location to use the plunger invention. Remember, we couldn't climb up the roof to collect these Scooby snacks. So, climb up here now using the plunger invention to collect these Scooby snacks. That's all snacks collected. So this clears A Dark and Stormy Night. This area is now clear. Now I'm just gonna make my way back to a warp gate. So I'm gonna use this warp gate to warp back to the mystery machine.
It's a what?
Now, I'm not gonna save my game yet. Gonna do a little bit more cleanup and collecting first. So I'm gonna head over to the Hedge maze. So head over to On Edge and the Hedge Part 1. When you're doing the cleanup work, there is a lot of legwork you have to do to get to the areas you need the inventions at. This leads us to On Edge and the Hedge Part 2. Now here's the next spot we need the plunger invention. Remember, we kept slipping down this hill? Well, now we can use the plunger invention to walk straight up. There's also another way to get up here. You can use the super smash invention to bounce off the werewolf to get up here. So if you didn't want to wait to collect the plunger invention, that's another way to get up here. So now I'm just gonna jump across and collect these Scooby snacks. Be very careful not to fall in the pit. Make sure to jump up to collect this box of Scooby snacks. Here's a flower patch if you want to dig this up. Don't worry about that. Continue on ahead. A few more Scooby snacks to collect here, and this moves the hedge. It's a little shortcut to this area. Now here's another spot we need to use the plunger invention. Use it to walk up this hill. So now we gotta collect all these Scooby snacks around this area, since we couldn't get up here before. Just be very careful of all the enemies and these plants spitting that poison gas. And that's all snacks collected, so that clears this area. So On Edge and the Hedge is now clear. We don't have to worry about this area anymore. Okay, I'm at full health. I'm gonna continue on ahead. Too bad there isn't a few more warp gates scattered around the areas. Would have come in handy. Okay, now again, I'm gonna use Shaggy to get through this obstacle course because there's a warp gate at the end of it.
Hey, Scoob! Oh, thanks, Shaggy.
So drive quick, Shaggy.
Look out, Scoob! Jump, Scoob! Hop back on, Scoob! Wahoo! Wahoo! Come on, Scoob, let's get going.
Okay, finally, here's the warp gate. So let's use this. We're gonna warp over to It's a Mean Greenhouse Scooby Part 2. So go through the door to Chills and Spills on Haunted Hill Part 1. Now, you can do this now. Go all the way to the top here with the zombie. It's very difficult to do, but use the Super Smash invention to bounce off him to get up into the trees here. Up here, we have a bunch of Scooby snacks to collect. Be very careful not to fall down, or you'll have to leave and use that zombie all over again to get back up here. So once you're up here, you really don't want to fall down. Be careful of these bats. Okay, that's all the Scooby snacks here, so we can continue on ahead. Now we still have all these Scooby snacks here to collect. Now sadly, the Super Smash invention doesn't get us high enough to grab onto that chandelier up there. So don't worry about it and go through the door. We'll be coming back to collect those Scooby snacks later. Now before I use the warp gate here, go down these platforms all the way to the bottom, As you can see down here, we need to use the Super Smash invention on the switch to open up this gate. This is where we will be heading next. I'm not gonna go through the gate right now. I'm gonna go back to save my game, now that we did all that cleanup work. So let's head back to the mystery machine.
It's a warp.
So now I'm gonna save my game. This will be the end of Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights, Creepy Crawlies in the Hallways.